Welcome to Firelands Electric Cooperative's annual meeting of members. Your cooperative exists to serve its members, and it's you, the member owners, who have elected your team of 9 board members to govern the cooperative and its principals. These individuals contribute countless hours each year attending meetings, conferences, and being advocates on your behalf. We would like to take a moment and introduce your elected Board of Trustees. Board President, District 1 Representative Dan Schlomer lives in the Willard area with his wife Debbie. Dan serves our cooperative members located in Greenfield, Norwich, and Richmond Townships in Huron County. District 2 Representative Joe Williams lives in the Greenwich area with his wife Gina. Joe serves our cooperative members located in Cass, Greenwich, New Haven, and Ripley Townships in Huron County, and Ruggles Township in Ashland County. He also serves a portion of Blooming Grove Township in Richland County. District 3 Representative Tom Lucia lives in the North Fairfield area with his wife Sarah. Tom serves our members located in Bronson, Fairfield, Heartland, and Prue Townships in Huron County. He also serves a portion of Fitchville Township, located west of State Route 250 in Huron County. District 4 Representative Lon Burton lives in the New London area with his wife Chris. Lon serves our members located in Clarksfield Township, a portion of Fitchville Township east of State Route 250, north of the CSX rail in the New London municipality, and New London Township in Huron County. He also serves a portion of Rochester Township in Lorain County. Secretary-Treasurer, District 5 Representative Carl Ayers lives in the Perrysville area with his wife Janet. Carl serves our cooperative members located in Monroe Township in Richland County and Green and Lake Townships in Ashland County. Vice President, District 6 Representative Kevin Reedy lives in the Ashland area with his wife Debbie. Kevin serves our members located in Butler, Mifflin, and Weller Townships in Richland County. He also serves Clear Creek, Milton, Orange, and Mifflin Townships and Madison Township north of State Route 42 in Ashland County. District 7 Representative Greg Hess lives in the Ashland area with his wife Teresa. Greg serves our cooperative members located in Mohican, Montgomery, Perry, and Vermilion Townships in Ashland County. District 8 Representative Adrian Finley lives in the Ashland area with his wife Heather. Adrian serves our cooperative members located in Mifflin Township in Richland County and Mifflin Township south of State Route 42 in Ashland County. District 9 Representative Brian Kuko lives in the New London area with his wife Melanie. Brian serves our cooperative members located south of the CSX rail in the New London municipality and New London Township in Huron County.
Hello, I am Kevin Reedy, District 6 Trustee and current Vice President of Firelands Electric Cooperative. Please stand as you are able and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please bow your heads as we offer an invocation today. Gracious and loving God, as we view today's annual Firelands Cooperative meeting, we thank you for the many blessings that you've provided to our cooperative family. Look upon us with your continued favor and grace upon the cooperative's employees and our member owners, as you have since the founding of the cooperative 90 years ago. In our mission to provide safe, affordable, and reliable energy services, we do so with the humbling reminder that with God, all things are possible. We thank you for the commitment and unwavering dedication of Firelands engineering, finance, member services, office, and operations employees. May they continue to enjoy good health and provide outstanding customer service. Continue to provide knowledge and wisdom for the Cooperative's Board of Trustees and senior management in their governance and operations of the Firelands Electric Cooperative. In our divine service to Thee, we ask this in your holy name, now and forever. Amen. It is now my privilege to introduce to you Firelands Electric Cooperative's President, Mr. Dan Schlomer.
My name is Dan Schlomer, Board President, and I now call the Firelands Electric Cooperative's 2026 Annual Meeting of Members to order. The Secretary reports that the required quorum was obtained through mail and online ballot process. I will now ask Secretary Carl Ayers to cover the proof of due publication.
Thank you, Dan. Hello, I am Carl Ayers, and I serve as Secretary of your Board of Trustees. I am reporting that the required quorum was obtained through the Cooperative's mail and online ballot, which was part of their 2026 election process. 545 ballots were submitted of the 50 ballots needed and shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. Official notice of the Firelands Electric Cooperative's 2026 virtual annual meeting was included with the Cooperative's elections packet that contained a ballot, candidate and voter information, along with a notice of the 2026 virtual annual meeting of members. Printed election materials containing official notice of the 2026 virtual annual meeting were mailed to each member of Firelands Cooperative at their address as it appears in the records of the cooperative. According to a report provided by the United States Postal Service, these materials were mailed to 7,964 members of the cooperative on Monday, February 23rd, 2026. And now I want to introduce our legal counsel, Corporate Attorney Heather Niedermeyer-Hyman, who will give our 2026 election results.
Thank you, Carl. Pursuant to the Code of Regulations, trustees are elected to staggered 3-year terms. This year, Districts 1, 3, and 6 were up for election. Consistent with the Code of Regulations, the board decided to hold the election both electronically and by mail through a third-party co-op ballot. Each member was mailed a ballot on February 23rd, and the election began on March 2nd and concluded on April 12th. Co-op ballot then certified the election results directly to Andrea Gravenhorst, Director of Communications and Information Technology, and to me. There were 471 paper ballots and 74 web ballots submitted, representing 6.84% of the membership. In District 1, there were 2 candidates, Dan Schlomer and Royden Smith. Dan Schlomer received 382 votes, and Royden Smith received 130 votes. Dan Schlomer is elected for District 1. Districts 3 and 6 were uncontested. Therefore, Tom Lucia was elected for District 3, and Kevin Reedy was elected for District 6. Due to the change in meeting format this year, the minutes from the 2025 annual meeting were provided to the members in the election packet, and the vote to approve or not to approve was included on the ballot. 537 members voted to approve. 8 members voted not to approve. The minutes of the 2025 annual meeting are approved. Now I'd like to invite Dan Schlomer back up.
Welcome again to the Firelands Electric Cooperative 88th Annual Meeting. We're celebrating a milestone this year, 90 years since the co-op was founded in 1936. Allow me to take a few minutes to reflect on that. Carl Bruce, who served as board president during the formative years, said, "They were hungry for it and they were ready," in referring to the rural families without electricity in 1936. And Ohio was ready. In fact, $5 million of the first $5.5 million obligated by Congress for loaning to electric cooperatives went to Ohio. In the 1930s, only one farmer in 10 had electricity. Rural electric cooperatives were somewhat of an experiment 90 years ago. The capital to build lines and substations came largely from federal loans. The lending agency formed by Congress to help the startup cooperatives, Rural Electrification Administration, designated Firelands as Ohio 83, meaning we were the 83rd co-op approved in the United States. So members kicked in a little, $5 for a membership, and Uncle Sam kicked in a lot. The trade-off was that profits, we call them margins in the co-op world, would be retained for many years to help build the system. We still use that concept today, borrowing about 60% of capital expenditures from the government and using margins for the remainder. We return those margins to our members as the co-op is financially able. In fact, $1 million was returned in 2025. It's no longer an experiment. It's a great success, with cooperatives serving over 50% of the land mass of the United States. As in past years, the board has engaged BHM CPAs to do an audit of the cooperative's books as of year end, and that firm issued a satisfactory and clean opinion. Speaking of margins, if you've taken the time to review the co-op's financials on the Firelands website, you may have seen that margins were again very strong in 2025. In fact, a record. As I have reminded you many times, margins are the source for investments we make to keep the system reliable. General Manager Don Englert will have the details on system improvements, but you can count on your board to prudently use those margins to continuously improve our system and maintain reliability. Earlier this year, our system was put to the test with strong winds over the course of several days. Friday, March 13th, we had many members offline, so many that we asked other co-ops for assistance. The winds were widespread, so much so that our neighbors' linemen were in the field making repairs for their systems. Consequently, our own employees stepped up to get the job done. I have to give a shout out to Firelands employees, both linemen and office, who worked late into the night on Friday and all day Saturday to get the lights on and keep members informed. Now let's talk about something we all are concerned about: electric rates. We all read about steep rate increases in Ohio and nationally. 2 years ago, I told members at the annual meeting that with rising costs of transformers, wire, and many of the components we use, that I look for rate increases to be necessary every 1 to 2 years. The last 2 rate increases were in January of 2024 and April of 2025. The good news is our strong financial year in 2025 allows for no rate increase in 2026. And because we have our own generation, our cost of power is forecasted to be stable in the near future. For many years after electric cooperatives were formed, the cost to serve fewer customers per mile required our rates to be higher than our investor-owned utilities. Thanks to our own generation and the stewardship of member-owned and controlled cooperatives, that is no longer the case. I want to switch gears now to the state and national level, and more specifically, data centers. We all read a lot about the subject and the voracious appetite these centers have for electricity. In some areas, new data centers have driven consumer electric bills higher. Buckeye Power has received many inquiries from data center developers, and there are several in the works to be located on cooperative lines, although as of now, not Firelands. After a good bit of research, the Buckeye Power Board voted in March to establish a new tariff, or rate structure, if you will, for data centers. The tariff has the following objectives. 1, preserve existing generation for existing Buckeye members throughout Ohio. 2, allocate costs so that data centers pay their share. And 3, require data centers to curtail their load if our grid operator demands it, so as to protect reliability for existing members. So I think you can see that your co-op is looking out for you. There are 2 topics that are often covered in Cooperative Living magazine or in social media that I hope you take the time to keep up with. Both involved concern for community, one of the cooperative principles. Each year, we report to you the results of Operation Roundup, where funds from a large majority of our members support worthwhile causes throughout our footprint. In 2025, we contributed almost $60,000 towards equipment for first responders, materials for educators, and funding youth programs. Your co-op is heavily involved in supporting our youth. Whether it's the $12,000 in scholarships awarded to 9 graduates earlier this year, sending a student this year to join with 44 others on a youth trip to Washington, D.C., or just the ongoing contest sponsored by Firelands, I think you can see that we have a commitment for expanding the horizons of our young people in our communities. I want to conclude by giving you some perspective based on the 18 years I've been a board member. I can tell you that our investment in upgrades has paid off in a system that has never been more reliable. We have a group of dedicated and talented employees, most of whom are constantly taking courses to upgrade their skill set. And we have a cooperative with $29 million in equity to take us through whatever pitfalls may come our way in the future. We're in a good spot, and your board and your trusted energy advisors at Firelands pledge to keep us there. Now, if you would please direct your attention to a message from Ohio Electric Cooperative's President and CEO, Craig Grooms.
Thank you for taking a moment to reflect with us on the past year, one that brought meaningful progress across the energy industry and helped lay the foundation for exciting opportunities for Ohio Electric Cooperatives in 2026 and beyond. This year also carries special meaning for our country. In 2026, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, a powerful reminder of the values that shaped our nation: liberty, self-governance, and the belief that we are stronger when we work together for a common purpose. Those same values are at the heart of electric cooperatives and the 7 principles that guide everything we do. Just as our nation was built through shared purpose and local leadership, Ohio's electric cooperatives have thrived by working together while maintaining strong local independence. Your local board knows your community best, and that independence allows them to be flexible, innovative, and responsive, always focused on what's best for you, the members they serve. We saw that spirit in action throughout 2025. Your local co-op leaders, along with several members of our statewide team, met with state, federal, and electric industry leaders to advocate for policies that promote affordable and reliable electricity. By engaging directly with these key decision makers, we are helping shape a policy environment that protects your interests as cooperative members and ensures that our service remains resilient and cost-effective. I'm optimistic that these efforts will pay off. Electric demand in cooperative territories remains steady and is poised for growth. Because cooperatives in Ohio own their own generation, we are well positioned to meet that demand with a goal of keeping rates as affordable and stable as possible. Financially, we are strong, thanks in large part to generation assets like the Cardinal Plan. These facilities continue to do exactly what they were built to do: run when they're needed most. During the coldest and hottest days of the year, our plants delivered power reliably because of ongoing investments, system upgrades, and operational excellence. Reliability doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of careful planning, discipline, and commitment. While we continue to focus on operational excellence at our power plants, the electric utility industry is entering a period of major change. Few topics have drawn more attention than data centers and large load growth. Across Ohio, more than a dozen major projects are being discussed, representing potentially thousands of megawatts of new demand. That growth brings opportunity, but it also requires thoughtful, responsible planning. Your cooperative boards are taking that responsibility seriously and asking the right questions. How much new load will come online? When will it arrive? And how can we serve it in a way that promotes economic development while also protecting existing members? When it comes to asking the right questions, one I've heard most often over the past year is, how can we protect co-op members from the higher costs brought by all the new data centers? The first thing to point out is that by having our own generation plants, it helps shield us from some of those increases. However, it's true that using the power grid has become more expensive. That's why we spend significant time trying to influence the rules for cost allocation to help ensure that data centers cover the expenses related to their usage. As these discussions continue, your cooperative and our statewide communications team will keep you informed, using new digital tools to make sure important updates reach you quickly and clearly. Safety remains our top priority. Our nationally recognized Colt Lineman Training Center continues to prepare some of the most skilled and respected line workers in the country, who you see every day keeping the lights on safely in your community. We are also investing in the future of the cooperative network by educating the next generation of cooperative leaders through year-round training for your co-op staff and inspiring school-age students with programs like Youth Tour, Farm Science Review, and Explore Ag. Our goal is to help the next generation understand the cooperative difference and the power of working together. If you ever have a question about these programs, your power plants, energy efficiency, or how your cooperative works, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here for one reason, to serve you, our members. There's no doubt this is a dynamic and complex time for the energy industry, but it's also an exciting one. And together, guided by the same cooperative values that have served us for generations, we are well prepared for what lies ahead. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being part of your electric cooperative.
Thank you for your kind attention. I will now ask Firelands General Manager Don Englert to bring you up to date on the past year and a look forward for the rest of 2026.
Thank you, Dan. Hello, and thank you for joining Firelands Electric Cooperative's 88th annual meeting. As member owners, your involvement helps guide our cooperative and keeps us accountable. I'm Don Englert, General Manager. After nearly 25 years in operations, I stay focused on what matters most: safe, reliable, affordable power, and planning ahead for what's next. Today I'll give a brief update on reliability and outage response, major system projects, cost and supply challenges, and how we're improving the member experience. Then I'll close with what to expect next and how you can stay involved. Since last year, we've made measurable progress in the initiatives we discussed. Here are the highlights and the priorities ahead. Reliability starts with vegetation. Trees have historically caused about 40% of our outages, and managing nearly 1,000 miles of line is ongoing work, but it's also one of the most effective ways to reduce interruptions. We moved from a 4-year to a 3-year trimming cycle, and in 2025, tree-related outages dropped by about 65%. If you see a hazard tree, one that's leaning toward lines, showing root lift or obvious decay, please let us know. And thank you for helping our crews and contractors with access when work is scheduled. We also address high-risk trees outside the right-of-way. coordinating with property owners and partners when needed to protect the system while respecting member property. Beyond trimming, we invest in system design, substations, feeder improvements, and switching automation so we can isolate problems and reroute power. In a recent storm-related event, a tree from well outside of our right-of-way broke 2 poles and interrupted service to 588 members. Even with difficult access, our linemen transferred load through nearby switches and restored service to most members while repairs were underway. That ability to sectionalize and backfeed reduces both the number of members out and the length of outages. In every outage, our priorities are safety first, restoring the greatest number of members as quickly as possible, and protecting critical infrastructure, along with clear, timely communication. Several major projects are strengthening capacity and flexibility. The Colder substation upgrade is nearing completion and is expected online in October of 2026. It has tripled capacity, separated circuits to reduce the number of members impacted by outages, and will be able to backfeed the Jeromesville and Mifflin substations. In January of 2027, we expect delivery of a new power transformer for our Fitchville substation, and it will double capacity and strengthen ties with New London, Boughtonville, and the Greenwich metering point, improving resilience during peak loads and supporting future growth. Near our office on Industrial Drive, First Energy is building a new ring bus station to interconnect First Energy and AEP. When complete, our most heavily loaded substation will be able to receive transmission service from either provider, reducing the risk that a single upstream outage affects a large number of members. We're also moving forward on the new Hillsdale substation outside of Hayesville. The land purchase is complete, contracts are being finalized, and this station will improve how we serve and transfer load between the Ashland, Coulter, and Jeromesville substations, with modern protection and greater operational flexibility. At the end of 2025, we completed our 4-year, $9.8 million construction work plan. Looking ahead, the board has approved the next phase, a $13.2 million in plant improvements through 2029, in addition to the substation projects I've mentioned. These investments help us stay ahead of growth, aging infrastructure, and severe weather, making the system more resilient while reducing avoidable emergency repairs over time. A continuing challenge is cost and lead time in the utility supply chain. Key items, transformers, switchgear, conductor, even line trucks often take much longer to procure and cost more than they did a few years ago. That means we have to plan earlier, order sooner, and keep disciplined schedules to deliver projects on time and within budget. To stay prepared, we invest in training, maintain mutual aid relationships, review performance after major events, and use data to prioritize the work that delivers the greatest reliability benefit. We're also focused on member experience, making it easier to get answers, manage your account, and receive outage and work updates. Please keep your contact information current so notifications reach you quickly. Financially, our goal is to keep the cooperative strong while delivering power as affordably as possible. We're managing cost pressures from materials and services to wholesale power through careful budgeting, competitive purchasing, and long-range planning. And above all, safety. Please stay clear of down lines and report them immediately. We train and follow strict procedures so our employees and the public go home safe. From tree trimming to substation upgrades to disciplined planning, everything we do is focused on safe, reliable, affordable power, delivered with the accountability you deserve as member owners. We'll keep investing where it matters, communicating clearly, and planning responsibly for tomorrow's demands. On behalf of our employees and Board of Trustees, thank you for your continued support of Firelands Electric Cooperative. We welcome your questions and feedback. Your input helps keep this cooperative strong and focused on what matters most. Thank you. And now, a video introducing our Political Action Committee.
Whether we like it or not, legislation can impact the ability to provide safe, reliable, affordable power. That's why it's important to elect people who understand the concerns of electric cooperatives. It's also why so many co-op members choose to join America's Electric Cooperatives Political Action Committee, or PAC. PAC brings together cooperative members from across the country who are dedicated to making their voices heard on issues that affect their electric bills and the quality of power supplying their homes, businesses, and communities. A grassroots movement, the group is powered by nearly 5,000 cooperative members in Ohio and more than 35,000 across the United States. Contributions made by PAC members are used to support candidates on both the state and federal levels who recognize the unique needs of member-owned electric cooperatives. As a bipartisan organization, PAC supports those who support the goals of the nation's electric co-ops, regardless of their political party. Having elected officials who are on the same page as electric cooperatives is essential. It places advocates for the co-op at the heart of the policymaking arena. By understanding the concerns of rural America, these legislators can encourage the passage of policies that help electric co-ops continue to provide dependable power and quality service to 42 million Americans. PAC is tasked with educating both current and potential lawmakers about the distinctive business model of electric cooperatives, including its advantages and its challenges. Through newsletters and other communications, the organization also serves as a tool to keep co-op members informed of proposed legislation that could affect their electricity. Become a member of PAC today and make your voice heard.
And now I'd like to take a few moments and introduce you to the people behind the power at Firelands Electric Cooperative.
Introducing your cooperative employees. Billing Representative, Julie Amato. Director of Operations, Rick Bowers. Contracted Energy Advisor, Scott Carberry. Lead Lineman, Evan Clemens. Line Superintendent, Zach Collins. Apprentice Lineman, Colt Cross. Journeyman Lineman, Jared Galloway. Communications and Member Relations Specialist, Tracy Gibb. Director of Communications and Information Technology, Andrea Gravenhorst. Apprentice Lineman, Zach Hart. Operations Assistant, April Hicks. Journeyman Lineman, Chris Kent. Operations Technician, Josh Kirk. Director of Human Resources, Shelley Magyar. Working Foreman, Phil Pickering. Consumer Services and AMI Coordinator, Stephanie Schmidt. Part-time Consumer Services Representative, Jessica Schwanger. Lead Lineman, Robert Shepard. Director of Finance and Accounting, Tabby Shepard. Lead Lineman, Dave Sumter. Engineering Operations Coordinator, Rob Swiger. Accountant, Cindy Thompson. Apprentice Lineman, Jake White.
Journeyman Lineman, Matt Whiteside. Journeyman Lineman, Jake Wilbond. Engineering and Operations Data Coordinator, Melissa Wilson. And Accounting Clerk, Melissa Zacharias.
And now I'll call back to the podium Dan, who will continue the meeting with any old or new business.
We're down to old or new business. Members were able to participate in the 2026 annual meeting by calling a dedicated phone number to submit questions before April 28th. We received a question from Michael in Ashland, Ohio as follows. Has the co-op ever considered providing fiber-based internet services to their members? Since the area you serve is largely rural and wired internet options are not available in many areas, you would have an existing customer base to serve. Plus, you already have a portion of the infrastructure in place, poles that you need to accomplish this. If the co-op doesn't want to enter that business, then why not partner with someone who does and charge them to use your poles? Michael, thank you for that excellent question. Several years ago, our board spent a good deal of time and money investigating just that. We joined with other co-ops in Ohio, formed a company to implement broadband, and through that company applied for a federal program called RDOF that would help make serving rural areas financially feasible. Unfortunately, we did not receive the expected grant, and after considering the period of time before cash flow would be positive, the millions of new loans that would need to be incurred, and the technology risk, we backed away from the broadband idea. We did, however, offer to reduce our pole attachment fees to any provider who ran broadband in underserved areas of our system. And we have had some interest in that program. So Michael, again, thank you for that excellent question. Before we adjourn, I would like to take a few minutes to address the annual meeting format change. As you may know, the annual meeting was held for many years at Ashland University, beginning with a breakfast and followed by the business meeting. Attendance at that meeting, both members and guests, has steadily declined. The cost to reach a limited number of members grew significantly over the years. The board felt that there must be a better way to reduce costs, increase attendance, especially among those who could not travel to Ashland on a Saturday morning, and try to reach both mature and young members. In addition to the online meeting and in lieu of the Ashland University breakfast, our staff has planned a Family Appreciation Day to be held at our new London location on May 21st from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So please mark your calendar and bring your family to enjoy complimentary food, games, gifts, safety demonstrations, and meet your cooperative trustees and staff. With that, I want to thank you for attending our online annual meeting and for keeping up to date on your electric cooperative. I declare this meeting adjourned.